The problem was that a cold front came through. We started shooting early afternoon. It was maybe in the low 40s, and by the time we were done shooting at about 5 o'clock or so, it was freezing. It was 32 degrees. So it was just cold, damp, and wet and miserable. So in that way, but it was just an amazing shoot because of the guys that were the World War II reenactors. They were, I mean, just the costumes, the equipment, the weapons, the vehicles, you know, a half-track, a Jeep, the trucks. It really gave an incredible sense of realism. I mean, I think of all the films I've done, it's been one of those rare times, especially the films I've made here at Barton. It's one of those rare times where I think, like for Bobby, he could really become engrossed in the character and the situation and the scene, because it was basically, there was me with the camera, but otherwise it was him, these group of guys in the uniforms and the vehicles, and they're shooting blanks, and it's loud and it's cold and miserable, and he could really get into probably that mindset. I mean, I think the weather helped the scene.
These guys were great, these World War II reenactors, which was just amazing, working with real equipment and all this stuff that's real from World War II was just amazing. These vehicles they had, and oh man, the guys just knew the history so well and everything. And that day was cold and it started to get wet and wind, and boy, but that added to, that was like the perfect day for that scene. You know what I mean? It was gloomy, and you know, the weather almost foreshadows that something's going to happen, you know. And that's the way that day was, and it was, like I said, long and cold. But that was such a great experience, you know, working with such hands-on equipment and such, you know, professional guys. I call them professionals, these reenactors. I call them professionals because I don't think it gets any better than that. But, you know, working with people like that, you know, even, you know, they didn't have lines. You know, a couple of them had little lines here and there, but they were in the zone every time. You know, as soon as the cameras were on, these guys were in battle mode, and you know, and going. And you can't ask for anything better as an actor to be surrounded by than, you know, real equipment, real things. You know, I'm wearing the real Saving Private Ryan World War II stuff that's all, you know, 80 pounds on my back, carrying an M1 Grand rifle and a Tommy gun and shooting those, which was amazing. And so that was a great shoot that day. It was just amazing to me. I've never experienced anything like that.
Oh, I don't know. The least favorite scene would probably be the Army scene on the coldest day in my life. I was out there totally unprepared with no gloves and no hat, and I had to lay on the cold ground as a dead pilot, and that was hell. That was just hell. And then at the end I had to shoot with no coat or anything, and I'm surprised it came away with my limbs. But it was still fun. It was a little bit of both.